A while ago, I had discovered that one of the major reasons I'm hurting so much financially is that I'm spending way too much money on food. So I decided to experiment with the freezer dinner strategy, where you basically buy a bunch of food, cook it up, and then freeze it for a later date. And it is true that you'll spend more at once for the different meals that you cook. I discovered that per serving, it's quite a bit cheaper to do it like this. Also, they're not spending on just fast food, coming up with a spontaneous plan for dinner of like going out or order pizza or maybe like just running out grabbing something from the store and just hunger shopping, which is really expensive. And since I decided to become attempt to become a professional vlogger, I decided to go ahead and share what recipes I'm cooking. I'll be uploading these videos once a month on a Monday, just random Mondays. I'm not sure which. I haven't really decided on a schedule on those, but I want to do the vlog type episodes on Mondays. So tonight I'll be getting this recipe out of a freezer magazine I picked up at the grocery store I work at. This recipe is called pizza pasta dinner. It's one of those super healthy dinners that that I came across. I plugged it in. One of the websites I frequent has a calorie counter, and you can upload the recipes in there. And I forgot to write that down. I turned off my computer, but anyway, when I plugged it in, it said it didn't have. It'll say when you put in a recipe, it'll have the good points of the recipe and the bad points of the recipe, and I have a pie chart of different nutrients and stuff in it, and like half of the pie chart was fat, and it said warning, the bad part of this recipe is high in sodium. It didn't have anything good to say about that recipe, so it's like, wow. But anyway, I'll go ahead and get started now. I'm 5 minutes into the video, but anyway, I'll edit that down, I'm sure. Alright, I'll go ahead and go over what's in the recipe. Here it is, pretty much how it's splayed out here. The weight loss shakes in the background, you've seen that in other videos. But anyway, it's 2 cups of spiral pasta. That a box of spiral pasta is $1 at the store, and this is about half that box, so about 50 cents for pasta. The hamburger, 1/2 pound of hamburger, and the hamburger I buy it in a big 5-pound roll, and I cut it up and put it in the freezer. And this week it's about, when I bought it in the 5-pound roll, it's about $1.34 for a 1/2 pound of hamburger. Hamburger meat's getting expensive lately. The sausage is a 1/2 pound of sausage, and there's a $3 thing for a pound of sausage, so it's about $1.50 for sausage. Accidentally threw away the receipt on some of these, so about 80 cents for a bell pepper, if I remember right. And the onion was 93 cents. The pepperoni, I actually threw that receipt away. That was with the other stuff. But the pepperoni was, I think, $3 sounds about right for it's 3 ounces of pepperoni. I'm glad I bought the 6-ounce thing because I like to eat pepperoni. But anyway, that's about how much I have left. But the recipe calls for 3 ounces of pepperoni, a 14.5 ounce can of diced tomatoes. I'm using diced tomatoes with jalapenos because I want a little more spice in it. But let's see, that was 89 cents for that can. 14-ounce jar of pizza sauce, which I think is about $2. That with that receipt. But see, a can of mushrooms. I threw that receipt away, and it's about $1. I want to say about 80 cents maybe. And a can of olives. 3.8 ounce can of olives It's less than $2 as well. So in total, we're looking at about $16 for the entire meal, but it's a 6-serving meal, so it's about $2.68 for the meal, or about $2.50, $2.50 for a meal for each serving. So you're not going to get fast food anywhere for that. So let me go ahead and start cooking it up. When I was going over the various recipes, I forgot to mention the cheese. The original recipe calls for 1 cup of mozzarella cheese, but since I'm such in love with cheese, I went ahead and went 1 cup of mozzarella cheese and 1 cup of cheddar cheese. That's about $1.67 worth of cheese, and that price is included in that price I gave you for overall dinner. This next step is to cook the onions, the hamburger, the sausage, and the pepper all in one pan while you boil the noodles. So noodles are boiling for now. Next 10 minutes, I'll be boiling that and cooking that. So that will cook, and see you in about 10 minutes. Okay, now that the meat has completely turned brown, and I noticed they cut the onions pretty large, but oh well, future thought. Anyway, I'll go ahead and drain and rinse the meat. So, the noodles got done cooking while I was doing the opening the lids of the various jars and cans and stuff, which I should have been doing while the meat was cooking. But anyway, now that I rinsed and drained the meat, I'll go ahead and add the tomatoes, the mushrooms, olives. Oh, we spilled olives all over the place. And the sauce. Oh, pepperoni. Probably not got to do that one-handed. Anyway, the pepperoni and the sauce. Alright. Get that stirred up and then cook it for 5 minutes. Alright. The 5 minutes is up, so I'll go ahead and add the pasta in. I'll mix that. And then I'll add the cheese. The original recipe said sprinkle the cheese over the top, and it was just, sorry for shaking him. It was just 1 cup of cheese in the original recipe, which I added another cup too. So I think that was supposed to be, oh shit, that's supposed to be mostly a garnish. But I love cheese so much, so I'll go ahead and mix that up and stir that in. And yeah, I'm going to turn off the heat because I think the heat's enough to go ahead and melt all the cheese. And there's pizza pasta. I'll go ahead and let that cool down to a point where I can put it in the freezer, put it in bowls, and put it in the freezer bag. So I'm going to go ahead and go over the stats on that recipe. I went ahead and put it in bowls and froze it and stuff because I'm sure that'd be thrilling, entertaining watching there. But yeah, I needed both hands to do that, and that's real boring. Me just spooning into bowls. I'm pretty sure I can vamp while I'm doing that. But anyway, I'll go ahead and go over the stats here. It's 561 calories. And 273 calories from fat. So, and 30 grams of fat in there, with 11.5 grams of saturated fat. 87. Strange. I must have wrote that down wrong. It said 87 milligrams of fat after that, so I'm not sure. Might have wrote that down wrong. And it, yeah, when it said it was high in sodium, it wasn't kidding. It's 1,634 milligrams of sodium. So I'm not sure what the daily recommended thing of sodium is, but damn. And 228 milligrams of potassium, 38.5 grams of carbs, 5.2 grams of fiber, 12.7 grams of sugar, and 35 grams of protein. I don't know. I kind of came off kind of dry. I don't know if I'm going to do that every time, forever video. But that's a piece of pasta. Yeah, I'll be cooking more and recording more videos, but I'll just release these once a month. So yeah, like I said earlier, stay tuned for Sunday weight loss. I don't know how much weight I'm losing with eating stuff like this, but anyway, weight loss videos on Sundays, vlog videos on Mondays, cosplay updates on Wednesdays, and reviews on Saturdays. I'm going to be keeping busy because I really want this to be catching on. Work is really getting, real jobs getting really kind of. But anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned.